Welcome to today's Daily Edge. If you like it, please subscribe.
And if you want the Daily Edge, then you can get it on the links below.
On June 8, 2026, a sudden shift in global market sentiment wiped out $1 trillion in U.S. market value. The U.S. equity market bore the brunt of the damage, with the Nasdaq suffering a staggering 5% daily drop. The UK market displayed a strange resilience on the same day, with the FTSE 100 managing a green close of 0.08%. Standard market logic dictates that a violent 5% tech crash should trigger massive panic and a flight to traditional safety assets. Understanding why Europe survived while the US burned requires moving beyond isolated equity analysis to examine the systemic cross-asset plumbing connecting stocks to commodities. Theoretical correlation suggests that when risk assets like tech stocks plummet, fear drives capital into safe havens, typically forcing those prices higher. Data from June 8th broke this fundamental model. Traditional safe havens plummeted in unison with equities, with silver dropping over 6% and gold over 3%. This simultaneous crash across non-correlated assets proves the market was not reacting to a localized sector bubble. The price action reveals a cross-asset liquidity drain, a mechanism distinct from a fundamental valuation drop. During a liquidity crisis, immediate margin calls force participants to liquidate any liquid holdings they possess, indiscriminately dragging down both risk and safety. This mechanical unwinding of leverage explains the simultaneous drop in tech and gold, requiring us to trace the causal chain back to the initiating macroeconomic shock. The catalyst for this trillion-dollar wipeout was a localized piece of U.S. labor market data. The May payrolls report presented a massive statistical shock, showing 172,000 jobs added against expectations of 80,000. This immediately shattered the prevailing dovish narrative. Swap markets reacted mechanically, pricing in a quarter-point hike by December and extinguishing rate cut bets. The sudden pricing in of rate hikes acts as a systemic shock to highly leveraged institutional portfolios. This higher-for-longer policy path forces quantitative models to aggressively reprice risk across the board. In a fragile macro regime, positive economic data, like a hot labor market, becomes catastrophic, forcing central banks to keep money tight. This hawkish shift forced short-duration Treasury yields to surge vertically, resulting in a 13 basis point jump to 4.17%. This reaction was the next critical link in the systemic domino effect. Higher Treasury yields increase the discount rate, the required rate of return that makes future corporate cash flows less valuable today. High-growth AI and technology stocks are mathematically the most vulnerable to this shift, as their valuations depend entirely on earnings projected years into the future. Rising discount rates triggered an immediate rotation out of richly valued tech giants like NVIDIA, AMD, and Broadcom. This macro drag was compounded by corporate-level failures, specifically Broadcom's inability to raise its AI outlook. The gravitational pull of a 4.17% risk-free rate crushed tech valuation multiples, stripping $1 trillion from the market, regardless of AI performance. If tech multiples were simply adjusting to yields, the question remains, why did gold and silver crash alongside them? Surging U.S. Treasury yields increased the attractiveness of the U.S. dollar, driving its strength globally. A firm U.S. dollar leads to the final stage of the causal chain, a total cross-asset de-risking event that pulled down both equities and precious metals. There is a vital distinction between an asset breaking structurally due to oversupply versus breaking technically due to a liquidity squeeze. Desk analysis confirms the metals crash was a liquidity-driven event, amplified by cooling rate cut expectations, not a break in underlying fundamentals. In a pure liquidity shock, correlations go to 1.0. Investors sell any liquid asset to cover margin calls, explaining why even gold wasn't spared. Understanding a macro domino effect is only useful to a trading desk if it can be translated into mechanical, actionable parameters. Professionals use algorithmic trend filtering to strip away market noise and identify the core direction of the move. The terminal defines the intraday trend using the 4-hour and 1-hour 200 exponential moving averages. This mechanical rule prevents traders from fighting macroeconomic momentum, regardless of short-term volatility. The yield-driven stock must now be mapped onto these alignment dashboards to dictate binary buy or sell biases.
The most direct tactical play for the yield spike is the firm dollar theme, specifically a buy setup in USD JPY. This technical setup is backed by yield-driven momentum and wide interest rate differentials. Looking back at equity indices, we can now explain why the FTSE survived the global tech rout. The FTSE's heavy weighting in energy and defensive sectors shielded it from the rate-sensitive tech shock that crushed the Nasdaq. Despite this relative strength, the overarching global risk-off regime still dictates a strict bearish execution bias on the terminal. The FTSE 100 trade playbook reflects this, showing a bearish technical alignment below both key moving averages. The execution trigger requires selling below 10,370 to confirm the broader Wall Street drag.
The trade is invalidated if the market reclaims both moving averages above 10,380. Professional trading relies on identifying the first macroeconomic domino, tracing its mathematical path through the yield curve, and executing only when technical alignments confirm that fundamental reality.
You can get the Daily Edge sent to your email every single morning. Just click the links below and you can get that every morning. Northern European session if you're in America, the US update twice a week in the afternoons.